Good to see everybody out here. So what I was asked to speak about was these letters of expectation that the government is sending to the universities, because I think they're extremely significant in the sense of what they imply for where the government is heading with your education system. So as you know, the letters were sent out to all the post-secondary institutions.
Everyone pay attention!
Hi, Ferris.
Let the man speak!
So they were sent out to all the post-secondary institutions, were specifically to what's called the operating budget. The operating budget is what mainly pays wages and salaries. So you can see it's mainly an attack on the people who work in the universities. And for the students, of course, that means a lower quality of education. So the hoax for the cuts was that there was some sort of bitumen bubble that was cutting into the profits of the energy monopolies, and that therefore the government could not get so much money from them. Well, this is a big hoax, because if you read the business pages, you'll see that because crude oil is cheap, it's actually better for those companies that refine oil. So think about it. They need to buy oil to put in their refineries. If that oil is cheap, they make a huge amount of more money refining. So they're making money on the refining end. So this whole thing about that energy companies don't have any money is all bogus. The letters that were sent to each of the institutions are pretty much the same, except in the amounts of money that was given. So each letter lists how much money each institution was giving. If you go on the Alberta government site, you can find the text of all of them. Now what the follow-up is supposed to be is, Look I Suck is telling everyone in the universities, isn't that how you pronounce his name? Look I Suck? Absolutely. He's telling all the universities to sign those letters and to agree with what he said. Now most of the institutions are saying they won't sign the letters, and there's been quite a lot of opposition. So hopefully that will persist. I don't know if you know, but even the University of Alberta Board of Governors came out against the letters. And the mayor of our city came out against the letters. So one of the things of this plan is they want to eliminate what they call redundancy. So what does redundancy mean? It means that if you have a fine arts course in Lethbridge and one in Grand Prairie, one of them is redundant, according to them. So basically, not only are they reducing funding, but they want to reduce your access.
And increase your debt.
Sorry?
But say what these are redundant.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So what will, as we all know, what will improve education is not their plan, but just simply the plan to increase funding and also to focus education on the good of the whole province rather than a few oil companies. Now the other issue here is these letters start to take more and more decision-making power out of the hands of the universities, colleges, and the technical institutions. So the government is basically wanting to have the right to tell the post-secondary education institutions what they should do.
Sounds like a hypocrisy.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're doing to you what they've been doing to us for 500 years.
So what this may turn into, I don't know if you know this, but the healthcare system in Alberta is run by a very small group of people. It's called a super board. They make the decisions. They're, the usual Tory hacks and so on. So one of the things that may happen is they may try to set up one of these super boards for education, where again, a small group of government people are going to make the decisions. So another thing that becomes very clear in these letters is how the plan is simply for the education system the post-secondary education system to serve those energy companies. The letters are full of statements basically that suggest that education is for training corporate slaves, doing research for corporations, and so on. That's basically the gist of them. The letters are also aligned with what the government calls results-based budgeting. So what does that mean? That means that basically everything, including education and healthcare, is considered to be a business. And these businesses, again, are controlled by small groups made up of government officials and so-called public representatives, who of course are the usual corporate hacks. And so essentially what this means then is the results-based budgeting mean your programs should fill, or sorry, your institution's programs should fill those faculties and departments that the government thinks are important to build the economy in the interests of these private companies. So where does that leave fine arts, right? Drama, all these things. According to our government, these things are not important. So, I mean, it's not to say the universities haven't served these purposes in the past, but they seem to be really pulling them into control. Just to give you something in contrast, in Mexico City, the largest university is called the Autonomous University. Basically what happens is the government gives them money and they run their own show. The faculty, the students and everybody, they run the university once they get the money. The government has no say. So that sounds like a pretty good plan, doesn't it? So another thing is, you know, so overall this attack on the autonomy, I think, is also basically a threat to anybody who works in the universities, because it's saying that you should do certain research and you should work on certain basis. So a lot of people are saying, you know, since when is what is done in research decided by these people?
Academic freedom.
It's also suggesting that those who work in the university should not be doing what we're doing. We should not be dissenting. We should simply be agreeing with these characters and telling them.
That is not democracy.
Now, we all know what the logical solution is to the underfunding crisis. It's the one that they refuse to talk about, and that is get more money from the energy companies. That's the logical solution. You ask anybody. But this government rules in the name of the energy companies. That's why they don't consider that. So anyway, overall, we need to organize at our own institutions. I know there's people here from Lethbridge. I know that people came in Calgary, went to Alison Redford's office from Mount Royal and demonstrated. So we have to keep this up. And what we need to do is you need to organize in your local area, but we also have to develop a way that we can all be in touch with each other and also, you know, harmonize these kinds of things, because I think a provincial day of protest like this is extremely effective. Thank you.